Hi, this is Spiritual Psychic Cynthia Killian here, also known as Psychic Cynthia, and welcome. I want to welcome you to your Level 1 Awakening Your Inner Psychic video course. And this is a course that I have created for you at the beginning of your journey. I mean, really, no one's at the beginning of their journeys because the journey begins long before we're ever born in this life. But you know what I mean. So welcome if you're at the beginning of your spiritual psychic awakening journey. We're going to have so much fun together, awakening this inner magical, all-seeing part of you. And welcome also to those of you who maybe aren't so much at the beginning of your journey, but are simply at the beginning of your journey with this course. Now, when I use the phrase inner psychic, I believe that when you hear those words, you probably already have a knowing inside of what I mean. You know, there's a resonance, inner psychic. You know what that means, right? Deep in your heart, you know already. But if you want some more explanation about it on the mind level, which, by the way, we have to get out of the linear brain to awaken the inner psychic, but you'll hear me talk about that many times in this series. So for today, a more linear brain definition of the inner psychic would be that part of you that perceives, not only in the physical reality, which is just such a small part of reality, but the inner psychic is the part that perceives in the non-physical realities. Or maybe it would be better to say the super-physical realities, the beyond the physical realities. So this inner psychic is a part of you that is within, just like the term says. And the word psychic has its roots in the Greek word psyche, which means of the soul. So I personally like to think of this inner psychic as being an aspect of your soul. And that's why I feel that as we tune in more to your soul and your soul energies, this inner psychic opens up. Now, contrary to what some people believe, being psychic is not really all that hard. Okay, being exceptionally gifted as a psychic is difficult, but in terms of developing your intuition and awakening this inner psychic, or reawakening, it's really a reawakening, okay? We'll get to that in a moment. But anyway, in terms of awakening or reawakening the inner psychic, it's not very difficult at all to do. Well, not any more difficult than it is to learn any other art. Okay, so there is some effort that is involved, okay? You do actually have to do the exercises and you have to show up. You can't just hope to be psychic and it will happen. If that were the case, then every person that I ever met or did a reading for who hoped to be psychic would be the next Edgar Casey. Google it if you don't know who that is. Or John Edwards or whoever, you know, the most famous psychic is. There's Nostradamus, I think, is the greatest psychic ever, but, you know, that's real old school. That's like, you know, back in the darker ages. Okay, I digress. Anyway, this inner psychic is a natural part of evolution. It's a natural part of who you are. This is something that all humans have. We developed these abilities to sense as we were evolving as creatures because, you know, way back in the day, I mean, we didn't have maps and we didn't have written language and we didn't have the lure of knowledge. I mean, we had to really have a sense of how to survive. We had to be able to sense danger, you know, not only with our scent or in our eyes or physically, but with something else. There was something else that we had, a built-in warning system. Actually, a lot of the intuition and different psychic perceptions evolved as warning systems, as defense systems. But then they can be used for so much more than that too. So anyway, my point with this is that don't worry as you're beginning this. If you are worried, if you're thinking, well, I don't know if I'm psychic or not, am I going to be able to do this course? You are naturally psychic somewhere inside because that's part of the human evolution. Now, we're not all wired in the same way as psychics, meaning that some of us are more naturally clairaudient, Some of us are more clairvoyant. You know, some of us are seers. Some of us are psychic dreamers, which is actually part of being a seer. Some of us are more natural shaman, witch, druid, so we're nature psychics. You might imagine that I have a little bit of that in me. You know, that's why I love to film videos outside when I can, or even when I do my indoor videos, I'm surrounded by plants. Even if you don't see them in the video, they're there. That's because I'm more that natural shaman, witch, druid. But for now, you don't need to worry about what specific type of psychic wiring you have. I want you to understand as we're beginning this course simply that you are wired psychically, that it is natural, and truly it's not just something that is given to a few, okay? That's just a bullshit idea, okay? I know that that is a myth that is perpetuated time and time again, that only a few people are psychic. What I would say to that, I mean, of course it's true that in every generation there are only going to be a small percent who are exceptionally gifted naturally, okay? And even if you're exceptionally gifted naturally, you know, you have to develop that to become great. It's like being a dancer or an athlete. You know, we will sometimes see children who have the athletic aptitude, you know, they can run and they can dance, or the flexibility of a dancer, but that doesn't make them a Russian ballerina or an Olympic athlete. What makes somebody the Russian ballerina of psychicism? What makes them the, you know, gold-winning Olympic medalist of psychicism? Well, that's practice. That's determination. And if you want to get to that point, you certainly can. Now, listen, you don't have to want to go to that level to benefit from this course. I mean, I'm really thinking more that for those of you who are doing this course, you know, that you're probably wanting to develop for yourself and get acquainted with your inner psychic, or maybe reawaken your inner psychic if you've kind of been neglecting that path for some time. And that's quite common for people to have gotten on the path when they were younger, and then, you know, they kind of let life got in the way, and then someday they remember, oh yes, the psychic part of me, I want to get back to that. So if that's you, that's cool. Wherever you're at, that's cool. I mean, if you do have serious aspirations to serve and to share your gifts with others, that's great. But hey, it actually starts with you developing your gifts first, dear one. So that's why we're here, to really help you get awakened with the inner psychic. Now, as we're going through this journey together, there will be different kinds of videos. A lot of the videos focus on what I think of the inner artistry of awakening your psychic, getting to know your psychic. So it's really unique to you, and I'll be encouraging you to, for example, keep a psychic journal. That's something I want to say right off the top now, that you need to go out and get yourself a journal, and I wish I would have thought to bring my journal out with me. I didn't. Maybe I'll at least take a picture later for you. But you want to have a psychic journal, something that you can actually write in and record your progress, and, you know, just little snippets about cool things that happen. Like I did a meditation today where I went into fairyland and had a healing and all this stuff, and then the fairies put these little coins in my pockets, and they said, this is how you will know when you see us, and they were silver, like dimes and nickels. And I kid you not, later that morning, I mean, we're just talking about like an hour later, I went upstairs to my plant room and was watering, and I found a dime underneath a plant. It was in the weirdest place. Okay, I don't even keep money up there in that plant room. I don't even usually have money with me when I go up there because I put my money somewhere else. So that's something I will write in my journal tonight about the dime and how the fairies left me that dime. I failed, okay? And that's another thing too, as I'm sharing this story with you, you know, you'll notice that I totally believe, I am totally acknowledging and recognizing this is a gift from my fairies. And as I'm doing this too, I'm also acknowledging my inner psychic, and acknowledging when we have these little things happen. It's so important. So that's what one of the main reasons I want you to keep this journal is, so you can write little notes here and there about when cool stuff happens. Because let me tell you, the psychic path is so magical. You wouldn't believe the cool things that happened to me. I mean, I one time went into a city of like 2 million people, and sat down at a restaurant where I wasn't planning to be. And then I looked up across the water, because it was on the water, and my friends who I was supposed to meet up with later, who had no idea when they were coming into town, they were sitting right across the water. That happened in a city of 2 million people. That's how magical it is to be psychic. You can draw these things to you. It isn't just about seeing and knowing. That is a large part of it. But as you awaken your inner psychic, you'll limber up psychically. You know, you relax. You'll feel so much better about life in a lot of ways. Even when shitty stuff happens, you know, you'll just deal with it easier. And in this relaxed state of mind, this magical state, you just draw more magical occurrences to you. You draw more miracles. Your etheric body, your chakras, and if you don't know what that is, don't worry. We're going to cover that in the course. This energy body, as it expands through the exercises we do, and it shakes up and opens up, I don't know, something breaks off in the universe, and life starts responding differently to you. So I hope you'll look at this journey of awakening your inner psychic as an overall improvement journey, not just to be more psychic, but perhaps to lead a more meaningful and happier life. So welcome again to your Awakening Your Inner Psychic course. And please feel free to comment and share below any thoughts you have, anything that you think is really cool about this video. Don't just keep it for yourself. Write it down in the comments so that others can see it too. And I'm so glad you're here. I just love helping ignite people on their psychic journey. I'm just so glad that you're here, and proud of you for giving yourself this gift. So I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, bright, magical, fairy, psychic blessings. Goodbye.